Hi, my name is Costas.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome to the first episode for 2016.
2016!
It's going to be a quick one. And now the end, we like to... Oh.
Okay, bye.
It's not funny. I'm not going to try and be a comedian
Stop it.
this year. And you are going to try and look more smarter, please.
I'll try my best.
Right, we did say last week that we're going to announce, 3 winners this week.
3 winners.
2 winners for the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year statements type thingy bob.
Yep.
And 1 winner for
The
person,
bundle deal.
Yeah, the person's going to get his bundle reward points. Or, no, not reward points. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Anyway. Now, so what we're going to do, we're going to use this box here. We're going to place all the winners inside.
No, we'll get to that in a minute.
That would be fun.
That would have been
good. That would have been good. Right, okay. I'll tell you what, Chris.
Yeah.
I want you to pick the first winner for the prize.
Is this Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, Christmas and New Year's.
Okay, here's the first one. Reach deep. Okay, hold it up. Here's the first one. Paul Matthews.
Paul Matthews, fantastic. Send us a message and we'll sort something out for you. Something nice and special. Do you want to shake it? Let me choose a winner.
Okay. I'm going to mess them up a bit.
There was quite a lot of response. I got
There's
fed
a
up
few
with
in
writing
here.
them out this week.
They're all stuck in the bottom of the... You got to reach down into the...
Oh yeah, into the
thing.
Into the thing. I like the bottom.
Personal. Too much information.
I've got one here. So exciting. Peter Margaret McCluskey sent us a message on YouTube. Thank you very much. Again, send us a message. Peter Margaret McCluskey.
Oh, dropping things.
Now, we've got purchasers for the thingy bobby.
The bundle deal.
The bundle deal.
Here we go.
So, if I want to shake it, go down the...
oh, God. I think I'll take that one.
Make it interesting. Make it interesting.
Thomas Franco.
Thomas Franco. Send us a message. Thomas Franco, if you're not quite sure, I didn't write it down, but if you placed one order with us for the bundle deal, you'll get £50 credit back into your account. We'll find you anyway. We've got the information
multiple
there.
bundles.
If you got 2, you'll get £100 put in. If you bought 3, of course, it's £150, etc., etc. No one's bought 5. But someone did
Come
buy
on, guys.
4.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So that person that did buy 4 is actually going to get a free prize sent in the post, random, because that's dedication for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's get on with this week's show. So what are we actually giving a once-over this week?
We're giving a once-over to...
The AmazeBox.
The AmazeBox.
By Mark Shortland.
Yes. Our weekly at the table lecture. This week it's Nathan Kranzo.
And a bit of fun, something from the past is the good old hot rod. Just took a random hot rod off the shelf and we did a live performance of this. It's amazing.
It's what it is.
How these things get great reactions.
Truth.
So let's get on with this week's show.
The first once over this week is the AmazeBox.
Woo!
Let's have a look at the official trailer and have a talk about it afterwards.
Hi, my name is Mark Shortland and this is the AmazeBox, and I know what you're thinking, what's the AmazeBox? Well, I'm glad you asked that, I'll show you. Imagine being able to be on stage. The box has been in view the entire time. People have come down, they've written whatever you want onto a piece of paper, they pop it into the box. All the people are writing various different things, anything you want, film names, question and answer bits, whatever you want, you can have them write them on and they're going to go into the box like this. Okay, now just bearing in mind these are white pieces of paper that I've put in here. At any time, without touching the box, you can have a spectator come up to it, they open up the box, they open up the sides, they open up the front, and inside the box you have your force pieces of paper. You've switched it as simply as that. You go nowhere near the box at any point, and you can leave the box on stage and it's absolutely examinable. That's the AmazeBox, that's what I use it for, but there are a bunch of different other ways you can use it, and your imagination is the limit.
Now you've just seen the official trailer for the AmazeBox. Amazing! The trailer is a tad confusing, so you may have got a bit confused. Because...
The trailer doesn't show you a routine or a performance for the AmazeBox.
Yeah, used in the real world
but
type stuff.
You do get an idea of what it is.
Yes.
That's the good thing.
We'll give you a little bit of a demonstration, sort of live for you guys. So you get the box, which comes flat packed in the packaging I showed you. I've had the little tabs on because it works better and you can see them. So you get random people. Magician doesn't touch it the whole time, to put little bits of paper, green pieces this time, all the way inside.
Yeah, so the spectators are all doing this. They can freely put them in.
Whatever. You have a spectator come up. You haven't gone near the box. They open it up. You instruct them to open the little red tab. There's another little red tab there. They pull the little red tab, and inside are orange pieces.
Yeah,
Look at that. Amazing. So that is the AmazeBox. Personally, I think it's a genius utility device.
I got you one of these for Christmas.
You did?
And so I didn't open the package. I didn't know how it worked.
That's mine.
You made it. You put it together. You brought it in. You showed it to me. And I was really, really impressed with how this is made.
Yes, it's
a genius idea.
It's very
I'm not sure what was going into Mark Shortland's head at the time and how he prototyped this, because it's genius.
It is.
It's a genius. The whole thing of opening, closing. Actually, these red things that Chris has added is explained on the
Yes, it is.
on the tutorial.
I took the idea straight from
which gives it an additional element to it, whereas it just makes it easier for the spectator to pull the inner compartment out and stuff.
Yeah.
So what is it really? It's basically a switching device. So if, for example, you got a raffle, and you want a particular number to win, and you can get everyone to put their raffles in, and when the spectator opens it and pulls one out, it's guaranteed to be your winning number.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. You can do a
any billet switch that you want, really. We've been sort of brainstorming recently.
You don't get any of these ideas when you watch the instructions.
Yeah, the instructional video, which you type up and get on your browser, is about 30 odd minutes long, and it goes through the construction and the ideas behind it, but it doesn't actually go through any in-depth thinking to a routine wise. There are a couple of ideas thrown out there, but none that...
But the interesting thing is, once we were playing with it, initially it was slightly a bit daunting trying to work out what you would use this for.
Yeah.
If you got a routine already, for example, if you get spectators to write a random question down and you pick one at the end of the night and then put it next to your head, you read the contents and you answer the question, that kind of stuff. If you already do that kind of magic, a lot of mentalists do, then this box is ideal.
Perfect.
Because it does everything for you right in front of the spectator. In fact, the spectators do the work. But anything you need switching, this is ideal. And it's foolproof.
It is. And it's just it's the added element that you don't go near it. Spectator does the whole thing. You've had this here, say, throughout the entire interval, and they've put stuff in, and then you get someone, you haven't gone near it, to open it up. I think it's a fantastic utility switching device. But your imagination is
coming. thinking about it now, there's a lot more ideas coming to me. Like one thing that just popped into my mind, I don't know how I link these two together, but it can work, is Mark Shortland released a technique called the Meridian technique. Whereas the technique is used once you're doing close up and then you're setting something up for a final trick at the end of the night. I'm not going to go through exactly what it is. If you've got the booklet, you know what I'm talking about. And you can actually do the same for this. You can actually replace what Mark Shortland's doing, use the idea, the Meridian technique idea, and use this as the final part of his technique. So there is a lot of uses for it. And you could actually switch objects as well.
You can, yeah. There's a video on Vanishing Ink where they switch a phone out, which brings it more to sort of a magic effect rather than an innocent looking box.
I'm probably more inclined to think that it works better with billets and piece of paper and stuff.
I think so too, because it sort of brings
rather than changing objects.
Because it brings attention to the box, which is exactly what you don't want. But you can use it for a multitude of ideas, and you can come up with stuff on your own, which is
I agree.
really cool.
An object looks okay having it change, but there is an element of something's just happened.
Right.
Whereas using these pieces of paper, you don't know anything's happened. Because if you put in blue piece of paper in there, for example, or your orange piece of paper, and then at the end the spectator pulls out an orange piece of paper,
there's no reason
there's no reason to actually think there's a change, but there is a change there, and the outcome is always the one of your choice. It's very clever, really well made.
It is.
The only negative thing about this, instead of taking 30 seconds to pack an order, it's now taking like trying to find a way to actually pack these and actually send them out. It was a challenge at the beginning, but it's a very popular product. It works really well. Can't rate it highly enough, and I'm glad this is the first product we're actually looking at in 2016.
Yes,
because it is a fantastic product. Well done to Mark Shortland for creating this genius device, and it's something I think everyone should have. Even if you're a close-up worker, there's a use for it.
There's a use for it.
And it's so good. Put it this way, in this day and age of magic, you don't really see magicians with top hats and that kind of stuff.
True.
So you would see a change bag a bit out of place. So why not use something like this?
A cardboard box.
A cardboard box to replace your change bag.
There you go. And you can, once you've built it, just as an additional note, don't think you have to carry it around like this. You can flat pack it after you've built it. So you don't have to carry around another box. You can flat pack it. And there is a way to put it back in this. If you fold a couple certain flaps down, when you get it, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
And the great thing is it's customizable.
Yeah.
You can write on this.
Do what you want with it.
This is literally, it is cardboard. So if you've got a Sharpie or something, you can write on it. You can design it, do whatever you want with it. And you can make it unique to yourself. And even if you don't, the fact that it's white, it's very organic and natural. So yeah, again, we're ranting on, but it's a fantastic product.
Fantastic.
That's the AmazeBox for Mark Shortland. Fantastic work. The second one sold this week is an At the Table live lecture with Nathan Kranzo. Let's watch a performance Chris did earlier of one of the effects taught at this lecture, and we'll come back and discuss that trick and this lecture as well.
Before we get to this terrifying piece of paper and the knife, I'm going to ask you to do something a little different. I'm going to ask you to write down a card.
Okay.
But I've given you this little lip. Don't show the camera.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't matter if I see.
Oh, right. Okay.
But just so the camera doesn't see.
Words.
Yeah. So the camera can't see. Actually, you know what? I don't want to look. So close the lid down.
Yeah.
Fold it up and put it somewhere. so I can't see it.
Okay.
We're going to try something with, obviously, a pack of cards as well. And now comes the dangerous bit. Now, I've always been a fan of the trick where the magician blindfolds himself and has a knife and cuts through the selected card.
Okay.
That's always been like, but I'm scared of like dangerous stuff and not being in control, especially with the blindfold. So we're gonna eliminate both of those. We're gonna eliminate the knife and the blindfolding by doing two things. One, we blindfold the deck, not me, in this piece of paper. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we've got the deck in there, hopefully, all situated. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
There. Don't want to see in, but enough space. And I'm not going to hold the knife. You are.
God. Okay.
And you can see the pack, so I wanted to get a little bit tighter in there. So you've got the whole pack to choose from. It's up to you if you want to cut it in that way or you want to cut it in that way, but it's up to you. Just slide the knife somewhere in. Yeah? You go for it? Okay. Is that, I'm going to ask you,
Yeah.
do you want to change your mind?
No.
No? That's good. Okay. Push it all the way through. So you have literally cut the deck. I'm just going to open this up so you can see that it's not changing the position of the cut. No?
No.
Still there? Yeah, hopefully. So you do me a favor, just hold the knife so I can get in there. Hopefully I won't cut myself. Yeah. So we've got one card that you've cut to. Yeah. Now, before we turn that over, bear in mind you could have changed your mind where you wanted to cut.
Yeah.
Take out the piece of paper. I'll get rid of the dangerous object. And open up. And what was it? Seven of hearts. 7 of hearts. Right, it was up to you. Could have cut anyway.
Yeah.
Have a look at the card you cut to.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Now, you've just seen card stab performed by Chris, which is one of the items discussed on this At the Table live lecture by Nathan Kranzo. It's a nice effect.
Yeah, it's
There's a bit of danger element, which sort of sets spectators on edge a bit.
yes. As soon as because I left that knife as soon as we walked in, and Rachel was like, "It's the dangerous object you're bringing in today." Yeah, it's sort of a twist on that classic card stab effect.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice close-up effect.
It is a nice one.
If you don't mind carrying a knife with you, but at the end of the day, you can use a knife from the table.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't need to carry one with you. It's a great lecture. Nathan does go through a few of his marketing effects.
Yes, which are really good.
Unfortunately, you have to buy a couple of the items in order to be able to perform the effects.
Yes.
But he does go into detail explaining everything he shows on the lecture. So
yeah, he doesn't just say like, "Oh, buy it from so and so."
Yeah.
He does go into what you would get and how to use it. So the magazine test was one of the first things I was like, "Oh, that would be awesome to do on the show." And then of course, but everything else that's not to say that everything on here you have to buy. You don't. There is some great. His flash coin effect is a really interesting sort of Scotch and soda type routine. The mind reading crotch is just a silly trick. Coin through silk is a really nice routine.
It's beautiful. I really like that.
With sort of a see-through type silk, and you have it penetrate through the silk, like an old classic idea, but with many layers and routines built in. And there's one of the endings is that it goes through the silk in the spectator's hand, which looks very pretty.
Nathan Kranzo comes up with a lot of workable material. He's released a lot of material in the past. One thing that springs to mind is his moving tan line effect, which was interesting in itself. I've actually used it.
Have you?
I have. I have used it. And,
Where?
Well, when you go on holiday 3 times a year, you sort of always prepare to a certain degree.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
He gets to go on holiday.
Oh, well, I used to. I'm a slave labor to the art of magic. So yeah, it's different, and what else can you say?
It's another quality lecture, and the effects that aren't marketed effects are just as powerful.
Yeah.
So you're not losing anything watching the ones that you.
There is a mixture.
There is.
There is a mixture, and
honestly, there's only a couple of marketed effects on here.
Most of it you'll be able to do straight away.
He takes some time out of this to talk about his time on Wizard Wars, which is quite an interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Get a bit of information regarding Wizard Wars and stuff.
What else?
What else can you say?
There's a book test on here. There's a card to wallet, which is quite interesting. Sneaky technique,
But again, it's another at the table live lecture that you not only get some tricks, you get some information about, for example, Wizard Wars. That's a nice little section because who isn't intrigued
about the goings on behind the scenes,
behind the scenes and that kind of stuff. So as always, you've got a safe bet with Nathan Kranzo. It's definitely going to have something that you're going to use. In fact, I don't know a lot of people that do a card stab. So even that many, even if you buy this just for the card stab, you got something that is, it's virtually self-working.
It is.
There's no preparation involved or anything like that.
No.
So you've got something in the arsenal that is something different and very unique. And no, it's great.
It's a great lecture.
I sat at the table live lecture with Nathan Kranzo. Now the question and answer this week, it's not a question and answer as such, but we have got a question for our viewers, especially the ones that are based in the Midlands.
Yes.
Now last year we held a couple of live lectures here at the Dow premises. This year we plan to increase the amount of lectures we do here. We want to do one at least every month and a half, 2 months max. We've already got a couple lined up. But who would you like to see lecture? And who would you be willing to pay to come and see lecture? Let us know, and we'll take all those into consideration and see what we can do for you this year.
Yeah. This week's Blast from the Past is the classic Hot Rod. Let's have a look at a performance we did earlier and have a talk about it afterwards. Got a little rod here. It's a classic of magic, so don't worry. With multicolored gemstones on either side. Both sides have different colors and not in any particular order. Now what I'd like you to do is, instead of going for, say, your favorite color, we've got 6 colors here. So name a number between 1 and 6. 2. You sure?
Yeah.
So we're gonna use the spelling technique. So it's TWO. So TWO. We've got red.
Okay.
Is that all right? You're okay with red?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna try something. Hopefully, just concentrate on the red. It should, and hopefully those don't come out. But the interesting thing is, it's on both sides. See? Red on both sides. Now here's the interesting thing though, because what if I would want to do this again? Now I'm stuck with red. So to reset it, all you do is you give it a little bit of a shake. Actually, have a look. Concentrate on the red. And it changes back to where it began. Gems on both sides. Now you've just seen a sort of classic quick routine of the hot rod. What can you say about the hot rod?
Yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's so old that you forget about them.
You do. I mean, I had one. It's one of the ones that you just get as sort of a classic magic as a kid.
People love paddle tricks.
It's surprising, but they do.
Love paddle tricks.
Do not underestimate the paddle.
I remember one of the the most successful products we used to sell when I was doing markets, selling magic years ago, was the paddle, the fish one, where you got one spot, jump onto the next paddle, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how well they come across, because it's magic. You got no spots here, one appears here.
That's right.
They jump they
between.
multiply, they vanish, you know. And also the hot rods is they've got a free choice of a number, and the whole paddle turns into their chosen color.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's not supposed to be a long running routine.
No,
it's supposed to be a very quick thing.
But it is one of those ones that you'll keep it. You'll definitely keep it, and it will sort of push you to think of more paddle stuff. Like if I hadn't known about the hot rod, I wouldn't have learned about turbo stick, and that sort of stuff.
And also you got people like Brian Watson, who creates fantastic hot rods with crystals and very
really beautiful
beautifully made paddles. They're not cheap, but for a working professional that would like to use a paddle in their working repertoire, having something so beautiful and expensive takes some cheap prop into something that can compete with the rest of your magic.
Yeah, I came across, someone showed me a bronze one a few months back, and it was just a beautiful looking piece of kit that had been sort of milled directly, and it had an extra secret in it, and I just thought it was a great addition.
Well, there's a lot of nice ones out there, and you know, at the end of the day, even a cheap one
does what it says on the box.
Yeah, it does what it says on the box, and it's what it is. There's loads of different paddles, and you know, they all work roughly the same. They're just different designs.
The hot rod is what would you call it? I would call it a gateway trick. A gateway trick to other stuff. But I think classic hot rod is always something you should have in your case somewhere.
That's the hot rod. So the once-overs this week, we started off with the AmazeBox from Mark Shortland. Fantastic product. Nathan Kranzo was at the table live lecture, and the blast from the past was the hot rod. All the winners come back and contact us regarding receiving your prizes. Again, any suggestions of people you'd like to see a lecture here at the Dell, please let us know. And what else can we say for this week, apart from, you know, Happy New Year?
Yes,
and
that's it. We're starting.
We're starting. We are working on
mucho stuff ahead of us.
We're trying to get ready for Blackpool, and
yes,
it looks like it's going to be the morning we leave for Blackpool. We'll still be sorting things out, probably, which is usually the case. So until next week, bye-bye.
I have made a prediction, and I have a gamble on this prediction. Gift card with it. I'm so confident that I'm going to get this right, I have weighted a gift card on this. Yeah? If I get it wrong, you get the gift card, but I'm pretty confident. So we'll start as most card tricks do, and just pick a card. So whenever you like, just say the word start for me. Right there. Okay. Take the card, have a look at it, remember it, do not forget it. Show the camera. Perfect. And just throw that in the middle somewhere, make a mess, make sure I can't see it, perfect. Yep, why not, take it out. So your card somewhere in the middle, fair enough? Deck goes to one side. Remember your card. Yeah. It's the first time. Name your card out loud. Queen of Diamonds. No?
No.
What were you gonna say? 7 of Spades? Well, you know what? I am a man of my words, so here you go. Actually, you know what? 7 of Spades. 7 of Spades it is. There you are.